When people find a way to stay motivated, they find a way to stay motivated by having fun and not being overwhelmed or intimidated. And that's what
I agree.
That's why the people who don't go to the gym don't go to the gym. Well, I'm not fit enough yet to go to the gym. I'm too big, or for a lot of women, it's, I need to lose weight. For a lot of men, it's just like, well, I'm going to be intimidated by the guys with muscle.
It's insecurity. You don't feel confident in that way. Do you play tennis?
Yes, I play tennis. I started playing tennis a little over 11 years ago. I crashed my husband and his mom and dad's vacation 2 months after I met him to Australia. I had no idea about tennis. I played football, track and field, and basketball. Like, they were my sports. And when I got down there, they were like, oh, we're going to go to the Australian Open. And I remember sitting in the Westin Hotel in Melbourne, and I was like, I have no idea what I'm about to watch. I didn't know how to score tennis. They go from 15 to 30 to 40, love, advantage this and all this stuff. And I remember going to the match, and I saw the guys playing, and I was like, this is so fucking, like I would be a professional tennis player. Like, I was talking all kinds of trash.
Right.
And so for Valentine's Day 2011, Scott bought me a tennis lesson at the National Tennis Center in Queens, New York. I got the first ball over. I thought I was a shit. And I think I hit every other ball over the curtains and everything. And so I, for the last 11 years, have been like obsessed with tennis. I did use it as my cardio for a while because I just got sick of doing fitness, So
I totally understand that. Yes.
So I got sick of doing fitness. Anyway, from that, Scott told me, he gets so mad when I tell this story, but he was like, you'll never be able to hit like a professional tennis player. And I'm like, do you know who the fuck I am? Like, what do you mean? And I really, I was mad at him I held a grudge for like a few years after him saying that. And so 2 things happened. One, we met Serena. I got to play against Serena. We played doubles. My team, me and my partner, beat Serena.
No way.
I mean, she was so mad. Like, when we were playing, she's so competitive in a good way. She was bombing these balls at me. And she was just like, there were a couple of them. I was like, holy shit. Like, if I was playing her one-on-one, she would whoop my ass. But anyway, so I got to play. And then maybe a year and a half ago, I remember Scott saying to me, like, I just want to let you know, I think you can beat me in tennis now, but I'll never admit that in public.
Right. Oh my! Well, I feel like anything you do, though, you become good at. Just from the podcast we did on your podcast, like, you have a lot of like hidden talents that people either don't know about or you just don't talk about. Or is that true? Like, are you the kind of person that if you put your mind to it, you can become good? Exceptional, I should say, at a lot of things. I
think that I am a life's decathlete, meaning, if I went to the Olympics, the only thing I would win a gold medal in, if it were an Olympic sport, would be fitness. Like, if it was like you have to like do a live class, like, I feel like that's the thing I excel at the most, right?
That's
like,
your
I would be on the medal stand, first, second, and third, probably gold. But I'm down to lose to really good people. But for me, it's about the trying. Like, if I find that I'm capable of doing something, if my mind tells me I can do it, I can do it. I can sing. I'm not the best singer in the world, but I can definitely be the lead in a Broadway show, which I really want to be the lead in Kinky Boots. It just came out. I want to be Lola so fucking bad. But anyway.
Can you really sing that well?
But I can sing really good. I'm not Mariah Carey or
you don't need to be
Craig David or any, Brian McKnight, but I can sing. I can dance really well as a professional dancer. So I do a lot of things really, really well. But the secret is, if I don't do it well, you're not going to see me doing it.
Yeah, but yes.
So there are things that I'm not really great at,
Like, what? Name me one thing that you've tried and that you aren't great at.
Writing a book was really tough for me because I'm not a good writer.
Okay.
I express really well my voice. So, like, even when I write posts, Chip will look at my post. Chip is my everything in my business, I should say. But Chip will look at my posts and be like, yeah, you made some errors.
Like grammatical errors and like just run-on sentences?
There's sometimes grammatical or, but I'm very, I don't think I'm ADHD because I know my friend Shalene Johnson talks about that all the time. But I'm not good at organizing my life necessarily. That's why I have really good people around me.
Yeah.
But
that's a true statement for a lot of people who are extraordinary at a high level at certain things.
Yeah.
So that's not that unique, right?
It's not that abnormal, you should say. But in therapy, because I'm going to therapy now, and my therapist, he calls it a high achiever. Because I was just like, one time I was telling him, to your point about the question of like, you're good at a lot of things. I have this thing in my head where if I'm not doing anything, I think I'm lazy. And he said a lot of high achievers have that mindset. And so, so I mean, if there's a lot going on in his brain, most of what comes out now is the messiness and always the real. But before it was really tough, I wasn't at this level of like confidence and belief in myself always, now being 44, it's just a different story.
When did it start? Like what was so walk me through this, right? So how did you even become the Shaun T that we know from Insanity and from all the mega programs? Like becoming that, like, were you naturally very, very talented with like even talking to a camera? People don't even know how difficult that is to be on cue and to be doing that and to be engaging while also doing the moves. Like, did you audition for it? Like, what was the evolution?
First of all, can I just tell you, I love you. Like, I know we just met, but it's so great talking to you. Like, it's amazing.
That is so nice. I feel the same way towards you.
No,
I
it's
really
so true. It's so true. Like, I just, like, you're wonderful.
Oh, you're wonderful too.
Thank you.
Oh,
like my grandfather used to say, we're fearfully and wonderfully made. I just wish most people would like actually believe that they're wonderful, but that's a whole nother story.
That's a whole other podcast, actually.
I do like the fact that you asked me, like, how did you become Shaun T from what people already knew? Because most people ask the question, like, how did it happen?
Yeah.
But I love how you ask, like, the evolution, because we know what we see on TV.
Right.
And when you see actors and you see or people that are, on TV or, somewhat famous if you have.
But you are in the fitness space. Like, there's like very few names that are household names, right? Very few. You could be a really successful fitness person, but like, there's like a handful, and you are one of those people. Like probably maybe not my mom because she's 80, but most other people, if you say Shaun T, people automatically, oh yeah, Insanity, Beachbody, oh yeah, that guy, hip hop abs. Like you've been like kind of part of the DNA in the fitness space for so many years that people at some level will know who you are. It's
funny you say so many years because somebody said to me the other day, they were like, yeah, I've been doing your tapes since 2001. And I'm like, no, you haven't, because I was still in college. Yeah. But to answer your question, which is a really good question, I'll tell you a really interesting story. So I used to teach at Equinox in West Hollywood when I first moved to Los Angeles.
Was that really?
So yeah, I used to teach there, and people used to wait like an hour for my class, and it was always packed, especially my Saturday class. And it was a dance class. I taught 10 classes a week or 12, and there were all kinds of fitness classes from Bosu to Bosu Step to, boot camp, everything. But my most popular class is my hip hop dance class. And so people would wait. And so there was a producer that worked at Beachbody that came to my class. Two of them she would always look from outside the window of my class when they came in. Anyway, she got in touch with a trainer who then reached out to me and said, hey, this woman wants to meet you. Her name is Lara Ross, who's one of my great friends to this day. But they had me come in and audition. And I remember the director, Andrea Armando's, who I love to death, she said, now I just want to let you know, you have to be yourself when the camera comes on. And she used her hand. She was like, so this is the camera, and you have to, try not to act like anything else. And in my head, I'm like, this bitch know who the fuck I am. Like, and she and my relationship are very that, like,
I heard she's very tough, actually.
She's super tough, but I'm literally her favorite.
Yeah. Well, of course you are. Yeah.
I know that sounds really vain, but I am.
It makes perfect sense.
And she's she's just wonderful. But so I just remember I was like, okay. And in my head, I'm like, I've literally taught on every continent almost in different languages. Like, this isn't my first rodeo. I'm saying that in my
your
head.
Yeah.
And literally that day, I taught about like maybe 15 minutes like for them. And I walked out of Beachbody with my contract that day. Like there was no like, wait. There was no like,
are you
wait,
serious?
Yeah.
They gave it to you on the spot.
They walked me to the lawyer's office.
What did you do in that audition?
So funny story is I called all my dancer friends to the house. So I was renting a room out of a really good friend of mine's house. And so I called them over. It was like 6 of them. And I was like, hey, meet me at my garage at like 9:00. And they all came to the garage, and I pulled the sliding glass mirrors from my closet in my bedroom and took them downstairs, and I put them in the garage, and I made up a routine of like what we were gonna do at this audition. And I walked in there, and that's what I did. I just taught a dance, and they were just really impressed with my cueing. They were just like, wow, like you cue really well, like for. Like if I'm doing a move that goes boom, boom, bop, I go up, down, out, take it down, flip around, boom, boom. Cause like my thing is I want people to know what I'm doing before I do it. But that also, you know, I'm also put my personality into it. So
exactly,
it was exactly what I guess Beachbody needed at the time. So
well, you had two things: a group X, like teaching an actual class day in, day out, that many gave you it gave you the skill set. So you knew what you were doing, because cueing is super difficult. Mm-hmm. People don't realize that. And because of the choreography stuff, like you were already a professional by the time you got to that place.
Yeah, I mean, I was a professional dancer.
Yeah,
so
but the cueing, the choreography, like being on beat is important.
Yeah, the choreography. And I had taught, you know how they say it takes 10,000 hours to be, I had taught probably, I mean, I started teaching when I was 20, almost 21. And I taught I remember teaching 25, 30 classes a week just in college.
Wow.
So by the time I left college and then traveled around the world, I mean, I just was all over the place, you know.
Were you like so at that time, it's obviously different when it is now with fitness influencers and all that. But were you considered a fitness, because you had that Equinox class, were you like a Nike trainer and all those other kind of fitness influency things before social media at that point?
Yeah, it's so funny when people come up to me, they're like, oh my God, you're like a social media influencer. And I'm like, oh my gosh, no, I'm not.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not. But fitness back then was very different. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure, you know, there were all the conventions and people don't even know names like Calvin Wiley, Patrick Godot, Tony Stone, Angie Bunch, Patricia Moreno, rest in peace. You know, there's so many of these incredible people that I learned under that taught cueing, that was able to build a class. Every class was an experience. And so from that, then I had to work my way up to be able to teach at one of these conventions. Mm-hmm. So I taught at those conventions for a while. And one day I would teach and I would still take 6 classes a day. And one day I was in the back row of a class. I was just because I like to support people. And I always was I'm going to soak up anything that they do. You know? And I was in the back of the class and there was a guy from Turkey that was just hey, you want to come to Turkey and help me open up a gym and create, you know, this fitness program and personal training and all that stuff. So he did all this stuff. And it was just I went to Istanbul and I was like, where am I? I don't speak this language, but the guys are hot and I'm here for it.
That's awesome.
You know what was on my mind in my 20s.
100%.
No shade.
No, it's amazing. So then who did you come up with? Was your first program Hip Hop Abs though?
Yes, my first program was Hip Hop Abs.
Did you do it or did they give it to you? Or how does it work? What's give me the skinny, excuse the pun, on what happens inside. So you get the job, then what happens? Yeah,
so get the job, and it literally is, we go into a boardroom with the producers, with Carl Deichler, who's the CEO, and then we just kind of ideate on what it is that we want to do. At least that's how every experience of mine has been. So they knew that they had just come out with P90X was before Insanity.
Yeah.
And then the most amazing Chalene Johnson had just come out with Turbo Jam.
I remember that too.
Right. So she had come out with Turbo Jam. And so what happened was they were just we want, Turbo Jam did so good. It was rhythmic. It was kind of I don't want to say it's like Taibo, but it was like the rhythmic boxing for people who don't really understand it. And then, so they wanted something that was like, they felt like movement was really good. So, and I was really popular for dance.
Right.
And so
that's what you're known for.
Yeah, but the way we came up with Hip Hop Abs was, I'm actually going to shout out these people, these two women, their names are Gillian and T. They had Yoga Booty Ballet. I don't know if you remember that.
Of course I do. Yes.
But they had one workout in Yoga Booty Ballet called Hip Hop Abs.
They did.
It was just like it was just like where we would do like buns and butt or whatever, buns and thighs. It was Hip Hop Abs. But anyway, the way we came out with Hip Hop Abs was actually really cool because I was a hip hop dancer.
Yeah.
And one day we were just ideating on choreography in this room. And so I took off my shirt and, they're like, oh my gosh, you have like really great abs. And I was like, thank you, So I was like, I don't know who said it, but they were like, oh my gosh, like what if we did an ab program? And so I breathed in and I made my belly really big. And I was like, all you got to do is tilt, tuck, and tighten. Shh. And it went from my abs. And they were like, holy shit. And because they were like, what do you do for abs? And I was like, I don't do abs. Like at the time, I did not get down on the floor. I literally danced. And they were like, well, show us how you move. I was like, well, in hip hop, you got to stay low. You got to keep your core tight, all this stuff. And so that's how we came up with hip hop abs. It went from like hip hot abs to like hot hip abs. It was like all these things. Really we're like, okay, we have to use this name because Hip Hop Abs was great. So then that's how we came up with Hip Hop Abs.
And was everyone shocked at the popularity of how it became like massive?
Yeah, it was a phenomenon at the time.
It was huge.
I think what was really great about it was, it was just like all the ingredients of a great fitness program came into one. And this is going to sound really funny, but you have dance, you have low impact, and you have a gay black man. Yeah. I know that sounds really, really crazy, and I can say it because I'm black.
Right.
But I believe people are probably going to roll their eyes at this, but I just believe that gay black men in fitness is not intimidating because some people can be intimidated by really super ripped other
women for sure,
or like beefy guys, kind of like I am now.
No, you're super beefy now, but you weren't back then.
I wasn't back then. But who's the kid out there? Is that your
my
son?
Kid.
Oh my god, he's so cute.
Thank you. That's Dylan. He's probably like, he's used to this.
Oh my god, he has great hair. Sorry.
Thank you. I love that. Yeah, he's delicious. So. I don't know what I was like looking at him, but so what were they saying about your hip hop? You were telling me, not Dylan. No, I was going to say something about the hip hop. Oh yeah, people, and I don't know if this is like politically incorrect also, but the gay teachers always who are at the clubs are always the most popular. Like women flock to these classes. Right. And if you're like a pretty girl or you could be intimidating.
Yeah.
Like they like the personality that comes with it.
I think that if I can just even take sexuality out of it for a second, I think what happens is, gay people in general, we live a life of being suppressed for mostly a quarter or more of our lives. I didn't come out till I was 21. Most people don't come out till they're 18. So you have these people who are suppressed for the youngest years of their lives. And so now you take somebody who actually loves fitness, who loves to dance, who wants to be expressive, and you put them in front of a room and it's not intimidating and people are having a good ass time.
Totally.
People do not care about, I don't want to say they don't care about fitness. Yes, people want to lose weight. They want to, but when people find a way to stay motivated, they find a way to stay motivated by having fun and not being overwhelmed or intimidated. And that's what I
agree.
That's why the people who don't go to the gym don't go to the gym. Well, I'm not fit enough yet to go to the gym. I'm too big, or for a lot of women, it's, I need to lose weight. For a lot of men, it's just like, well, I'm going to be intimidated by the guys with muscle.
It's insecurity. You don't feel confident in that way.
So you have a gay black man or a Chip, because Chip is a really good gay teacher.
Oh, you are too?
He's not a gay teacher, but he's a fitness instructor.
Oh, are you? Where do you teach? Equinox too?
He used to.
I'm on a little pause right now.
You are on a little pause right now with the schedule being.
I I mean, he was teaching even while working with us for Transform 20 when it had a certification program, but he doesn't know. He's my favorite instructor. But anyway, so not anyway, but so just like when you have like a gay guy teaching, it's just not intimidating, especially for like being in public. You're going into a room, and I really believe like no one talks about that, but I'm like, it's very, very, very true. If you go to fitness conventions, like the gay guys are like, they have like these really popular, super fun classes.
They also have a cult following.
Yeah.
They have a cult following because they make it fun. I think at the end of the day, no matter what, people want to feel inspired and they want to have fun. They don't want to feel like it's like a chore to do it. But you said something that was interesting. So when you were 20, when you came out, so how old were you when you did Insanity? I
was 2009. So I was 31. I was born in 1978. So was that 31? Almost 31. Okay, I was 30.
So you were okay. So I remember now. I don't know why. I remember when people said to me, "Oh, Shaun T came out," but that was like already. This was like back when like we were like. This was like in 2005. Were you keeping it a secret?
It was 2012.
Do you remember? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I do, and it's really funny because I was never in public.
That's the thing.
I'm like, have you done hip hop abs? I'm literally like, I don't got no hair. You know, I'm like, I was never in my public, in my
real
professional life. I was never in the class. I came out at 21 to everybody.
So why did people think that?
I'll tell you why.
Okay.
So one, because you have hip hop abs where I'm like cutting up and rocking body. They were my first two programs where they were dance programs.
Yeah.
You know, I'm acting like I'm at the motherfucking club. You know, I'm having a good ass time.
Right.
But then Insanity comes out and there's no time in a program where it wasn't live at the time. Like if Insanity was a live class, I would have been acting crazy because I'm like, cool. But you know, it's a package program where people have to come and they have to redo the workouts. So I don't tell jokes. I'm just like, boom, like we're gonna hit it and go. Right. And I took on when I created Insanity because I wanted people to feel how I felt at the end of a track practice, which is terrible. And so I feel good at the end, but it's terrible. And I'm like, this is like, I need people to feel this way. So they saw Shaun T from Insanity, Shaun T from T25, Asylum, like these programs that are hardcore. So then when my husband and I get married and my assistant at the time tweets, oh my gosh, she put something like, I'm so happy to celebrate this love. Everyone, like the blogs went crazy. And I'm like, who was in?
Oh, right. So everyone just assumed that you were
they assumed that I
coming
out.
But it was just because it just never gave the opportunity to tell people.
I'm like, thanks, girl. You know, I was fine.
Right. Well, no, because I totally remember that. And I'm like, what? Because I wasn't like keeping tabs completely, but I do remember that like in the atmosphere of Beachbody that you came out.
Yeah.
But it was like just...
But can we talk about that for a second? Like, why do people even have to come out?
I know. I mean, listen, that's a whole other thing. Like, I don't remember. I remember thinking, like, I wasn't even thinking if he was in or out or where you were.
You were just
know?
like,
I'm like, I like his workouts. You know, I wasn't paying attention to that.
Right.
But I guess because the conversation wasn't what it was today. Like back then, people were much more. Well, people are afraid of cancel culture today for different reasons.
Right.
But back then, the cancel culture was much more, there's a stigma, I guess, for whatever reason back then about that, or people thought there would be.
Yeah. And I literally never gave a fuck.
I know I can tell knowing you now, like I can't even imagine people thinking that.
Yeah. It's so funny.